Donald Trump, he's unapologetic about his controversial proposal to ban Muslims from entering the U.S. But given the reaction, even from people in his own party, should Trump back off from these comments? I'm joined by Republican strategist Sabrina Schaeffer and Democratic strategist Erikka Knuti. Erikka, I'll start with you. Should Trump back off of these comments?
Should he? Absolutely. Will he? Probably not. I mean, I completely agree also with Dick Cheney, something you probably will never hear me say again, that this is an un-American proposal, that we shouldn't be discriminating against people based on their faith. It's like saying that because the Planned Parenthood shooter, who also committed, what some consider to be an act of terrorism, we should be, banning Christians from coming in because of Christian extremism. Extremism is separate from the religion of Islam.
Sabrina, do you agree with that? I mean, how do you view this? It's been so controversial. Not just with Democrats, but with lots and lots of people on the web and on Twitter, social media, everybody coming out and talking about this. What's your view?
Right, because it shakes sort of the core of who we are as Americans. So I think from, most people hear this, and whether you're a Republican or a Democrat, it feels just wrong. On the other hand, I think what's happening here is that we have a lot of people who are really scared. And I think there's a lot of people who are thinking about terrorism every day and who don't feel as though the establishment is really listening. They're talking about climate change and they're equating that to ISIS. I think Trump is wrong. I think he's short-sighted on top of it all. I mean, if we want to really win the war against radical Islam, you need to have the mainstream Muslim community as a partner. And so this is certainly not going to get us there. But I think he's tapping into a very real fear.
Well, Hillary Clinton had something interesting to say about that. She said the entire Republican Party, well, they think just like Trump. Listen to this.
Ugh.
Some of his Republican candidates are saying that his latest comments have gone too far. But the truth is, many of them have also said extreme things about Muslims. Their language may be more veiled than Trump's, but their ideas are not so different. We are at war not with barbarous, violent murderers, but with an entire religion.
Erikka, is Hillary right?
I mean, I don't think the entire Republican Party believes the same stuff that Trump does, or thinks that Islam is inherently violent, or it's the problem, that the Islamic faith is the problem. In fact, I think that's what's dividing the Republican Party right now. But do I agree with her that these statements have been made by other candidates? Absolutely, and I think that there is kind of been a bit of an overlook of some of the other very insensitive and fear-based things. Real leaders don't just kind of feed the masses fear. They stand up and say sometimes the hard things to say. I mean, I mentioned this once a couple weeks ago, that George W. Bush went to the Washington Islamic Center and said Islam is peace days after 9/11, because he was a leader that understood that, yes, we absolutely need the moderate Muslim community. That is going to be our best fight, our best weapon in this war.
When you look at this, what's interesting to me, this is an attempt to make this now political, to put this into the political pot, turn it into a political debate, put the spotlight on Republicans again. Is this going to work for her?
I don't think it will, and here's why. I am in agreement with everyone here, right, that I think that demagoguery is a terrible thing, whether it's on the left or it's on the right. That being said, there seems to be sort of a fear that people can't speak up. If they see something, they're not actually saying something out of fear of being sort of charged as not politically correct, or as being racist, or as being insensitive in some way. And I think we need to find that healthy balance among Republicans and among Democrats, where people feel comfortable coming forward to authorities and saying something doesn't feel right, something seems wrong, without being, sort of a target of racist charges. And I think that's where we're really struggling as a country right now.
Lots of struggles. Homeland Security Chairman Mike McCall spoke earlier today about Trump's comments. Here's what he said.
I don't believe that kind of proposal would be constitutional. Having said that, the radical Islamist terror threat is real.
So, Sabrina, is this just really a moot point? Are we just spending a lot of time and airtime and hot air talking about something that could never happen?
I mean, I suppose yes, although I read a very long Wall Street Journal article that sort of tried to offer a variety of different perspectives from a legal perspective. Apparently, it's not so one-sided. I think that the larger point is that nobody wants to live in a country where we talk so definitively about not letting people in. This goes to sort of, really rubs us the wrong way, because it undermines the core of who Americans are. So I think we need to figure out a better way of dealing with this situation, a better way of talking about about it that unites Americans, not divides us.